Next, we will study Genesis chapter 38. Regarding Judah, how his descendants came to be. And Judah, he left his brothers. He went to live in a certain place. He settled in a place called Adullam. Later, he saw a Canaanite woman there. She was known as the daughter of Sua. He took her as his wife and slept with her. Thus, Judah had a son. Later, this woman bore Judah a second son named Onan. Then she bore him a third son named Shelah. At that time, because Judah saw Later, Judah arranged a marriage for his son, taking a daughter-in-law for him. This son is the firstborn heir. After he took a wife, in the eyes of the Lord, was a wicked man. So the Lord took Judah's, the firstborn's life. Then Judah said to his second son, "You must sleep with your brother's wife and fulfill your duty to him. Bear a child for your elder brother to carry on his lineage." But Judah's son felt that any child born would not be considered his own, but would belong to his brother. So whenever he slept with his sister-in-law, ejaculated deliberately onto the ground to prevent giving his brother offspring. Onan did this, and the Lord was displeased. And the Lord considered what Onan did to be evil in his sight. And so he took Onan's life. At that time, Judah thought to himself, "Now that my two sons are gone, only the youngest remains." Then Judah worried, "I fear that Shelah, the youngest son, will also die like his two older brothers." So he was unwilling to give his daughter-in-law Tamar to his third son. He was afraid that the third son might also die. Then Judah said to his daughter-in-law Tamar, "Go back to your father's house and remain a widow. Wait until my younger son, Shelah, grows up." Judah deliberately coaxed his daughter-in-law, saying, "After my youngest son Shelah grows up, I'll give you Shelah again, so that you may sleep with him, and you may conceive and bear a child." Then he immediately left. But years later, after Judah's wife died, Tamar saw that the youngest son had grown up. However, Judah was unwilling to give his third son to Tamar. Then one day someone told Tamar, "Your father-in-law has gone to shear his sheep, to Timnah to shear his sheep." At that time, Tamar saw that Shelah had already grown up. Judah's third son grew up. Utah, however, was unwilling. His father-in-law Judah, however, was unwilling to let Tamar have it. Then Tamar deliberately dressed up like a prostitute. He removed his widow's clothing, veiling her face with a scarf and covering her body. So she waited at an intersection on the road Judah always traveled. At that time, Judah was likely troubled, for he had seen his wife pass away, and his two sons had died too, leaving him distraught. So he went to Tamar and said to her, "Come, sleep with me." In fact, he didn't know that this woman was his daughter-in-law, nor did she realize it, because Tamar had covered her face. At that moment they said, "I sleep with you. What will you give me?" Judah said, "I will give you a young goat." But they said, "Before I arrived, before you brought this lamb here, do you have anything as collateral?" So Judah said, "I'll take my seal, along with the cord and staff, as collateral." Afterward, Judah slept with Tamar. Tamar became pregnant. Tamar's pregnancy came from Judah. In other words, the child the daughter-in-law bore came from her father-in-law. After a long time, someone told Judah, "Your daughter-in-law became a prostitute and got pregnant." Actually, Judah's daughter-in-law had not been a prostitute, but only sought to conceive a child from Judah. Later, Judah said, "Pull him out and stone her to death." But before Tamar was brought out, she sent word to Judah and gave back to him the seal cord and staff he had used earlier. saying to Judah, "Whose seal cord and staff are these? I can see from whoever owns them." At that moment, Judah remembered having slept with a woman by the roadside. Then he realized, it was my own daughter-in-law. The child came from Judah himself. Afterward, Judah took his daughter-in-law back into his household. When Tamar's time came, she gave birth to 2 sons, twins. One was named Perez, and the other, Zerah. Of course, Perez was the one who multiplied most abundantly among the tribe of Judah. Judah originally had 3 sons, but 2 of them died, leaving only the youngest. Later, Judah received 2 more sons, Perez and Zerah. It seemed as if these 2 sons replaced the 2 earlier ones taken by God. It appeared that God had given a beautiful compensation. Judah lost those 2 sons, and indeed, Tamar had also lost her husband. Yet God comforted Tamar in her sorrow, granting her 2 sons through Judah, and thus also comforting Judah, giving him 2 sons through Tamar. Unexpectedly, the tribe of Judah then set out from his daughter-in-law Tamar. Perez born to Tamar. Even Judah now had 3 sons. The descendants of Perez were especially numerous. Thus the tribe of Judah became prosperous within the nation of Israel. Glory be to the Father and the Lord.